This is the video review for Transformers Generations Wheeljack. This figure is a retool of Reveal the Shield Trax, but he is not a mere retool. He is actually quite an extensive retool. In this mode, the front of the car is different to have this. Well, it's the bumper and it goes out more and is kind of blade-like. The spoiler is a lot bigger. And instead of having missiles under here, they look more like fuel tanks. They're somewhat different than on Trax. Otherwise, in this mode, they are basically the same. It's in robot mode where they are quite a bit different, and I'll talk about that when we get there. As far as color differences, I like this paint scheme a lot more. Because the problem with Trax is that he is so dark, it's kind of hard to see the detail. So this is a nice white pearlescent white. A nice bright pearlescent white. It is very, very easy to see all the detail. And in fact, I have been seeing details that I just never noticed on Trax, like the door handle here. And the lights in here. And those lights, I never noticed before. I just saw, oh, back of the car. Those are indented in. Yeah, just the brighter color really helps make this figure look a lot more vivid. And I normally don't mention color, but it's worth mentioning here. And one other thing worth mentioning is, if you look at his lights here, his headlights, they're a very pale silver, so that from the right angle it just looks like white plastic. But when lights on them, it actually looks like they're on, without being obtrusive, and it's a really neat effect. I like the silver used on this figure. Otherwise, it's a car, and it rolls very well. Balances on all four wheels very nicely. To transform it, first take these out. They're on 3mm clips, and actually these are his wrenches, with the wrench part made out of the 3mm clip, and I think that is a genius use of parts. Next, open this up and pull out his gun. Pull this up, and let me scooch this up. Next, you will pull forward, back on the doors, and now unhook them, rotate them down, and pull them out. Rotate the wheels back on the arms, rotate them forward, and continue rotating the wheels forward. And that will give you his arms transformed. Next, you will pop open the hood, which will release his legs and allow you to pull these down, bend this forward, and pull the feet forward and split the legs. Then press up on this chest, and that will split. Now push up his head, push up the chest, and split his arms. And then turn them around. Take these wings and angle them up. And you have to do this or else this part here won't fit. Bring this down, and it will kind of clip or pressure in. And there's a little tab right here which will fit into the little indentation right there. And then this right here will tab into the back of his neck. Rotate out these little wing extensions right here. And then position the wings, and you are done. This is Wheeljack in robot mode. And he looks very, very nice. I need to adjust my tripod. Hold on a minute. This is Wheeljack. He looks very nice. Very detailed robot. And really looks like Wheeljack. The biggest problem I have with this mode is that there's not enough green on his chest. I wish these side panels right here had been green. That would give him all the green on his chest he needs. And it can be molded into the green plastic you see in there. And that is a very, very pretty green plastic, and I like it a lot. It's just too bad it doesn't show up enough on this figure. Like, you can barely see it in robot mode. In this mode, he has a ball-jointed head, a very free ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, rotates above the elbow, and a double-jointed elbow and rotating wrists. He has a waist joint. His legs go forward. And here's one of the parts about the retool, is that because his legs don't rotate, his hips aren't pushed quite as forward, so he can lift his legs up further without pushing the windshield up quite so much. Also, because the front of the hood of the car forms the front of his legs, he has a lot more articulation in the knees, and it looks a lot better to have his, what were Track's toes flipped around and used as heels. And these work really well as heels. They're some of the best heels I've handled in a while. And just having to use this side of the legs as the front is really what hurts Track's. But one thing you'll notice is that none of the detailing that made this look good on Track's is there. It's just all sort of blank. And in fact, you can see some sort of screw-looking things in there. Those are for his ratchets to clip onto. And that's pretty neat. So, his legs are an extensive retool from Track's, to the point of not even facing the same way. His head is a 100% new mold, and it looks a lot like Wheeljack. He has new wingtips. They don't look like wings, they don't look like jet wings. They look like whatever these things are that Wheeljack had. His missile-like things are different. So, yeah, really quite an extensive retool. These missile things can fit into his hand like this and form wrenches. His gun can fit into his hand, or what I like to do is they can clip onto this bar behind his head, and then he gets a shoulder-mounted cannon. And these can do the same too, or store on his leg. So yeah, a really nice figure. I like it a lot more than Track's, that's for sure. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching.